Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's Pick a Read. This week I'm going to use the Secret Language of Color cards by Anna Segal, Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West, and Queen of Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Okay. And the question, or the answer we're looking for, is for what do I do now? So what do we do now? We're stuck in some spot, or we don't know what to do, or maybe we're just questioning of what we're thinking we're going to do is a good idea. So we got 5 piles we're going to do. If I can line them up so that they make sense in the camera frame here. Okay, put this over to the side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, that's simple enough. Let's see if we get rid of the tarot cards now. I think we'll do it this way. Okay. The tarot came out even, for whatever reason, but that's interesting. Alright, so I got a couple messages I'm going to put on them, of course. If you watch my pick a reads, you know I always do that. So let's do those. And we'll put the stones on. Okay, so we have 5 piles if you want to look at the piles and see what calls out to you. I'm going to do this one, which is Citrine with the white. Well, it's got the yellow Citrine and then there's some white going on there with it. The second one I'll do is the Amethyst. The third one is the green Calcite. The fourth one I'll do is the Lapis Lazuli. And the last one will be the Rainbow Titanium Quartz. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a helicopter going by my house. I was like, what is that? Okay. So, Citrine. I usually use this for, like, you know, getting towards your own God center, like your personal loyalty. And when I say God center, like God, Goddess, like your true feelings, like what you really feel, what you really think. And you've got the white in here with it too. Trying to look at it in the most pure light you can. I don't really like the word pure. You're trying to be as honest with yourself as possible is what I'm getting here. So that's a big thing. So let's put that here. What do we have? What should you do now? I keep looking at that word. I might have spelled that wrong, but it says reevaluate. Okay, we have upside down cards. We have, most of them are upside down. Okay, so I don't think that's a bad thing. It just changes the message a little bit. So let's see what we got coming forward. So coming in, see, I think coming in and going out are very similar because you have the Knight of Wands coming in, which when I'm feeling this, somebody else is doing things. Somebody else is making action. It's almost like you're subject to what somebody else is doing. And the turquoise here is kind of like, it feels like it's helping, but it's really kind of, like it should be helping, it should be a good thing, but it's a little bit less than what you want. I just don't feel like you like it. Turquoise is a beautiful color. It says awaken your empathy. I'm not feeling that. What I'm feeling here is like things are coming to light. The truth is coming out. Things are being healed. There is kind of a healing feel with this. I usually associate green with healing, but I am feeling like there's a healing feeling coming out of this. Now, it could be whatever this person's doing. Other people are saying, oh, hold on, calm yourself down, what's going on? And that might actually bring people together to calm the situation down. For others, I feel like it's just kind of like seeing it for what it is and accepting this person for what they do. Because I feel like this person is just doing what they want to do and you don't seem to have the ability to stop them. And the turquoise is making me feel like there's healing coming from it, but it seems to be kind of like you're just subject to what's happening, which makes sense why the question is, what do I do now? Because it's just kind of like, it's getting better, but it's kind of like, all right, this happened, it is getting better, but what am I supposed to do with it? And you got the Seven of Cups here, like you have all these ideas, but all right, what should I do? You do have reevaluate, which I keep looking at it. I might have spelled it wrong. I don't know off the top of my head. Seven of Cups is making me feel like literally you're just kind of like, there's so many things I could do with this, but what should I do? When you're trying to come to your God center, think about, hey, what do I really want from this? What's really the, well, not only what do I want, but what's the best? What can I live with and is a good thing to do here? But they're saying the whole point is just to reevaluate. What has happened up to this point? What is this person like, whoever this is, if it's a person you're dealing with? What have you been dealing with? Like, really let it sink in, like, because you need to choose something that helps you release the fear. You get fear here, but it's upside down, which I'm getting here. It's like, if you choose well, if you really evaluate and look at what this situation is really about, you can take the fear out of the situation, because there is a factor here about randomness or what this person does. You're not really under control of what they do. They just kind of do what they want. You can't really script it or do anything to change it. So they're like, when you think about your possibilities going forward, what possibility makes it the easiest to deal with that? Because that will pull out a lot of stress, pull out a lot of fear, and that will open more doors going forward. Ironically, I feel like it's not about like this avenue would get us the most out of it, or this would be best for the person doing the things, or this would be best for me. It's not about that. It's about removing the fear. And it's kind of like, what bothers you the most about this person, and what direction can you go where that's not the most factor. Like, that's a very diminished factor. And they're saying, it's funny because I'm getting release the fear, try to go a direction where you kind of, diminish that. But then they're saying here at the end, the Two of Coins, which is again the same person, the same situation, same person, is going to be making the decision themselves. They're going to take this where they want to go. So it's almost like, it looks like you have the ability to make a decision, then this person steps in, kind of cuts you off, and is going to make another one based on what they want to do. So I feel like this is almost like a heads up. Like, this person already did some random stuff and caused things to work out a certain way based on what they did. The way this is going to end is the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but it's a little different. They're making a choice to do something different, and that's throwing things around, that's juggling things a little bit. So they're saying, if you just kind of look at this, like, what would take out the most fear, what would take out the most anxiety for me, just keep that in the back of your head and try to steer it that way. This person's going to make their own decisions. They're going to do something that's going to cause things to change again. So all these possibilities you have aren't really going to be applicable. But if you have in the back of your head, like, this option would have worked out in the sense of, like, removing fear or removing anxiety from me, if you just have that in your back of your head, that may surface again later, and you can move quicker when you see the opportunity and move things more in a less stressful, less anxiety way. But I think this is why they're giving you the reevaluate too. They're warning you. The randomness that happened in the beginning, because I feel like you didn't see it, you had no control over it. This person may have been affected by somebody outside of them who's giving them information. When it comes in, like, when they do what they do, it's like you're subject to what's happening. You're trying to get yourself together to change ththings or make your own decisions, but I'm getting they do it again. They make their own decision again, and that kind of moves things around. That kind of upsets the apple cart here, and you have to reevaluate and realign yourself to know what to do. They're saying this moment here, when this comes in, all they want you to do is think about what would release the most stress from me, what would take out the anxiety. So you have that in the back of your head. You're not going to be able to do it here, but later on down the road, you may get an option to do this. All right, I think we're good with this one. All right, so we're going to let that one go. Let's pick up these cards, and we'll go into the next one. Okay, what do we have next? The Amethyst. Amethyst is a very spiritual stone. I usually connect it with clairvoyance for whatever reason. There's more to it. I know that there's sometimes like a tranquil quality to it once in a while that I've noticed, but maybe it's because of the brown. But I feel like it's just kind of like, having that insight and just kind of like taking something on faith and going forward with it. At least maybe that's where we're going with this reading. We'll find out. Show the emotion. You got that where we're starting out. Okay. So you got 6 of coins when you're going into this. And it's reversed, though. And I get, like, somebody's holding back here. Somebody's holding something back. It might be you, it might be the other person. So whoever is holding the emotion back, because it says show the emotion, they're giving 6 of coins, like something is deeply bothering somebody. It's very deep when I'm getting the 6 of coins. There's a lot of history with it. There's something that's been there a long time. Somebody's having a hard time expressing this. And whether it be you or I feel like for a lot of you it's going to be the other person, you need to promote and get them to pull it out, speak it out, pull it out. Because it's there, it's deep. It's like deep rooted. And you got to pull that root out. You got to pull deep to get it out. And I'm getting the plum feels like it's not the most enjoyable moment. What does this say at the bottom anyway? Overcome your challenges? It makes sense. I feel like it could be a little murky whether it's even worth it, and it may be. I feel like it's going to be very uncomfortable, quite frankly, because if you get this person to pull it out, you're going to hear things, quite frankly, you don't want to hear, and I understand that. But these are things that are festering, and it may be uncomfortable to hear it now, but if you don't pull it out, it's causing more problems later. It's just like a reoccurring problem. It's like you're gonna find out the reason certain things are happening. Certain things you don't like hearing it. You really don't like hearing it, but you're getting answers like why certain things keep happening. You're getting like the backup for why it's happening, the base for it. The plum is warning me you're not liking that. Like it's hard to get through. Now, whether this is the part you're coming into, this is where you are right now, or you're up here where the Hanged Man is, make sure that you like. If you feel like that conversation was shut down too early, or not all the information came out for whatever reason, they're saying you still, even if the Hanged Man, can go back and reevaluate or revitalize that conversation, pull it forward again, and get more of this. Which I feel like part of you might be going, I didn't really like it the first time. I don't know why I'd want to torture myself further, but so you can get more of the history out, more of the real reason things are happening. Because you need to know really why things are happening. It's not fun. I get that again. It's not fun. But if you know this information, you can do stuff with it later on. And that's what this part is about. That's what they want you to do. To find out the truth, how somebody's feeling and why they're feeling the way they're feeling. You may see it completely differently, or you may know exactly what they're talking about and feel the same. Either way, though, you need to know how they're viewing it, to know if they're the same or different, and why they're doing what they're doing, and why they feel the way they feel. Like, why they feel the way they feel is the big piece here. So, even if you're at the Hanged Man part where you're like, I've already went through a part of this, I think we shut it down a little quick because I couldn't deal with it, but I don't know what to do with it. They're saying if you don't think you really got it all, you shut it down too quick and you think there's probably more there, go back and get the rest of it. Just get it all so you can use it later. You know what I mean? So you can heal it later. Right now is not the time to heal. Right now is the time to face what's happening and how somebody really does feel so you know what to do with it. There is growth coming from this. Now, the growth coming from this, believe it or not, just by letting this person talk it out or tell you how they feel, that's releasing them from a lot of stress. And it's actually making them feel like you hear them, and you're making them feel like they're not crazy for feeling the way they feel. Like there's not something wrong with them for feeling the way they feel. You know what I mean? Because I don't see you liking it, but I see you kind of accepting, all right, that's honestly how they feel. By releasing that energy, it helps this person. You're really helping this person move forward and let go of some pain. Not totally. I mean, it's not like a miracle cure. I'm not saying that. But they feel like somebody's listening to them, and it's encouraging them to talk more. And this is going to give you the ability to help something change or get better down the line. This is really, really, really a good thing. Because you do have growth. But I feel like when I'm connecting into this, you're questioning it. Like, is there really growth here? Because I don't want to cause more problems. I don't want to cause more fights. And you're not, with the Seven of Wands reversed, I'm actually getting like, yeah, you don't need to. You can defend your position without, like, I don't know. Actually, that's the reverse. So I'm getting you don't need to defend your position, to tell you the truth. You just need to let things naturally go from here. If you get this person to talk and come forward and tell you how they really feel, you're not going to know what to do with it. You're going to question if it really did any good. But what I'm getting is things start to just they just seem to kind of go back to a normal, common, even keel. You and this person seem to get along fairly well. They'll bring it forward when they're ready to deal with the next section, and I don't feel like it's going to be that big of a deal. Like, I feel like now that you know, or now that you see how this person feels, when a situation starts repeating and you're like, oh, that's why that's happening, you'll be able to kind of move in and maneuver through it to help, because you'll know what's going on. You might even have ideas about other people and understanding how they feel, because maybe this is only one person of many that was affected by this situation, and when you see this repeating, maybe with something else, a similar situation with different people, you'll start to wonder, I wonder if there's something similar in this one like I've already encountered with somebody else, and you'll start digging in and trying to find out those answers. So what they're saying is you're basically just trying to find out why this person feels the way they feel. It is going to create growth. And there's nothing you can do about it going forward, but it's information that you're going to be able to recognize going forward, and be like, oh, this situation, I've gone through this before, and when I pushed on somebody to find out why they did what they did, or why they felt the way they felt, this is what they told me. I wonder if this is the same here, and it'll help you decide where to go next, what to do next. You'll have more of an idea about what I need to do, but more of an understanding, like, okay, I think I understand why this is happening. Let me see if that's true, and it'll help you make better decisions on how to handle things. For those of you who chose this, especially with the Amethyst, I'm feeling, this is kind of like, improving your spiritual tools, giving you some more strength to, like, understand what's going on here better, and not really do anything about it. It is helping, it is healing for this person, but it's more like it's going to, repay you later. It's going to be information kind of like, oh, well, that person was upset about this, and that's what they did. Wonder if something similar is happening here. It gives you more tools, more things to rely on going down the road. It makes you stronger in the sense of, like, you have more direction or more ideas about what you could do to actually improve things, and not just kind of like get involved hoping for the best. You kind of are going forward kind of like, I think I know what's happening here. Let me investigate, and if that's what's happening, let me see if there's any way we can work this out. I think we're good here. Alright, so that's Amethyst. I think that would worked out well. Let's put these cards back. The energy's a little interesting today. I think it's good. I feel like there's like a push here, which is interesting. I feel like we're pushing. So maybe I should slow down a little bit when I'm giving the messages. We'll see here. Alright, so this is going to go the whole way through. What does it say? Communicate better. Okay. Well, this is kind of, yeah, okay. Can you see the cards is the first question, I guess. I gotta go this way. Here we go. Now we can see. Communicate better. This, for those of you who chose this one, like this, I use this for focus, like to sharpen what you're seeing, sharpen what you're feeling, to get a better, clearer idea about what you're dealing with. This one's a rough one. I'm already getting this one's. I mean, you probably, if you know a little bit about tarot, you're probably already getting that this is probably going to be one of those. So what do I need to do? What do I do now? Communicate better. Communicate better. Like, now, I don't know if you can read that on there because it's in green, but the whole way through, you need to communicate as much on the level as you possibly can. I can understand maybe there's certain things you don't want to say, but you want to be careful not to mislead people. Be very, very careful, because I feel like this is going to be a messy situation. Anything and everything you say probably will come right back on you. For some of you, I actually see people recording situations on cell phones and like using it like proof. It's going to be one of those things. So you want to be as on the level as you possibly can. Why is this all happening? You'll notice trust is reversed. Now, somebody is holding on to something, and they have ideas about what they want to happen here. They want to, like, they don't trust you, and they want to expose you, is what I'm getting. I'm really strongly getting that with this card. Now, the Nine of Wands, right, touching it right here, like the way this came in, I think that was like that. What that is telling me is, like, it's kind of like you're aware that they're not really the biggest fan of you, but you're just kind of working through it. And you're just kind of like, all right, they don't really care for me. They're not really a fan of mine. But, you know, I guess I could just kind of deal with it. I'll just wait it out. I'll just stay away from them. That type of feel. But they're saying, know this, like, and I actually feel for the majority of you that they're saying this has been going on for a while, so there's really no way to avoid it. It's been going on for a while. Somebody wants to expose you. They feel like you're saying things that aren't true, whatever. They're looking to expose you. Now, when I see communicate better, keep pushing forward. At this point, I'm not feeling like there's a lot of communication you have to worry about, but it's the minimal communication you have here that needs to be as on point, or if you've said things that you think may have been misconstrued, you might want to clear that up at this point, or at least get it in the back of your head about what you're going to do when it comes forward, because it is going to come forward. What comes next? And there's a little separation here. You got the Devil card reversed, which is telling me the jig is up. It's the jig is up in the sense of like, this person is coming forward and they're starting to expose you or doing what they feel they need to do. For some of you, this might be a court case, just to be fair. Other people, it's like this person's either saying something right in front of you or getting people riled up and telling them what they're seeing and giving their proof to other people. Because the Devil card reversed is the release from bondage. And I feel like you're not worried about stepping gingerly around this person anymore, because they just flat out made it obvious that they're coming for you. And they're looking to expose you. There's a lot here with the green calcite where I'm feeling like you want to be very, very on point and direct about what you handle and what you say. You don't want to color things. You don't want to embellish anything. You don't want to paint a pretty picture to make things look nice. Don't even bother, because the more you do that, the more it's going to come back on you. You want to be direct, to the point. This is what it is. Even if it's just kind of like, the shirt is blue and you leave it at that. And if they're like, well, what color blue? Well, from what I understand, it's azure. Maybe. I don't even know. I think it's just a name for blue in a different language, actually. But you know what I'm saying. It's sky blue. All right, there you go. It's sky blue. Okay. What makes you think it's sky blue? I read it off the tag. Like, you just want to get right to the point. You don't want to embellish it. Don't embellish it. Well, we don't think it's sky blue. I understand. That's where I got my information. Explain to me why it's wrong. Just go that way. They ask you questions, you give the blunt, quick answer. When they say, we think you're wrong, say, okay, I understand that. Explain to me why. And work from there, because they're going to be looking to trap you. Be aware of this, especially with the Devil reversed, the jig is up. They're going to be trying to prove that you're dishonest in some way. And they're going to be trying to expose you. They're going to try to trap you. And what I'm getting here is, at this point, you should be fairly successful at stepping around it to where it's not a big problem, but you got more coming here. Your easiest path forward is just answer the question for what it is. And when they challenge you and you're like, well, we think you're wrong. Okay, I understand that. Explain to me why. Now, if they give you pushback and they're like, why should I have to explain it? You're just wrong. Try to disconnect yourself or just keep going the way you are. You want to keep it as minimal and as succinct as possible, because I'm getting like some of these people are pretty tricky and they're going to be like, well, you're just wrong and that's how it is. I feel like the best you can say at this point is like, well, I'm going to continue on. It's a sky blue shirt and that's how I'm going to continue, unless you give me a reason that it's not that. Because from what I'm seeing, that's what it is, and these are the reasons why I feel that way. So I'm just going to continue on the same unless you can give me a reason otherwise. Some of these people are pretty tricky is what I'm getting, though. They're going to give you a big fight, and they're going to go around circles. They're going to try to get your goat. They're going to try to rile you up because they want to throw you off guard, because they want to get you get you to say something that they can use against you later. So just keep it very short, just short. Sweet, I wouldn't do sweet. I just feel like that's a bad idea. Just short, to the point, and just shut it down as quickly as possible. If you can, get away from this person as soon as you can. Answer the questions, answer them as honestly as possible. If they disagree, ask them to explain. If they're refusing, just like, I'm sticking to my path then because of these reasons, and try to disconnect as soon as you can from the situation. Because what comes next is there's going to be like, I don't know if it's the same moment or a little after, it depends on your situation. The Five of Swords is, like, this is a fight, this is an argument. It's not like the Five of Wands is the real bad one. The Five of Swords is usually like a fruitless win, is usually like how I see it. But the Mauve reversed and the Five of Swords is telling me there's a lot of problems here. There's a lot of people not happy. It's kind of like, when I see Mauve reversed, it kind of reminds me of like a lilac smell, but when it's overpowering. You know what I mean? I used to work with somebody a long time ago, a couple decades ago actually, and she would wear perfume, And sometimes I thought to myself, did you take the whole bottle and just pour it all over your whole body? Because it was so strong that it would be hard for me to be around her, because it was overpowering. And just to be fair, I have asthma, so that would be another factor. But that's how this feels to me. Like, it's so uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable environment. It's being played off like it's not that bad. This person keeps coming forward as if they're the good one, as if they're the innocent one, but it's kind of like it's way too strong. I don't see this taking you down. I feel like they're just giving you the heads up. If you keep yourself focused, this is like the question was, what do I do now? Just to the point. Don't make it sweet. Just to the point. Give your information. Realize there's no way around this. This person is going to make this very uncomfortable. There's no real win coming out of this. Like, I don't feel like you're suffering a great loss. I don't feel like they're suffering a great loss. Nobody's getting a great win out of this. It just feels like it's going to go have a period of time where it's going to be a very uncomfortable situation, and it's constantly having to deal with this person. As you keep going forward until this is over, you just want to go right to the point. Do not make it sweet. Just right to the point. Explain right to the point. This is why. This is why. Ask for feedback back. If they don't, then just try to disconnect yourself from this person the best you can. Until this person relents or somebody else steps in to disconnect this, or for some reason maybe you decide, I have to get out of this situation, you're just going to have to like roll with it that way for now. That's your best way. For a lot of you people, I do want to say, this person, whoever this is, the more you're direct and you don't sugarcoat, do not sugarcoat. Like, that's the biggest thing of this thing. Do not sugarcoat. The more you're direct and just give them the answer, and they can't really like find a way to really use it against you, the more you're like that, the less they want to bother with you, because you're making it harder for them. It's going nowhere. They're starting to look like they're the troublemaker, and they don't like that. They'll find somebody else to bother, or they'll just kind of go dormant. But be aware. From now on, I'm saying, whoever this person is, you always want to be direct. You do not want to sugarcoat, because I feel like from now on, this person is just going to be like this. They're just waiting for their next opportunity. They will go dormant, hopefully, but dormant does not mean this problem is over. I feel like whoever this person is, from this point forward, your best bet, just to the point, do not sugarcoat, and just leave it at that. All right, I think this one's good. All right, that was like the roughest one so far, but I think the message was quite clear, so I think that was a good one. All right, let's see what we got for the next. If I can pick up my cards. All right, what do we have? Lapis Lazuli, which is typically about communication. This has that band around it, so it makes it a wish stone. It does. Which I feel like in this situation, my first thought is a wish coming true, just to be fair. So I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this is one of those dark blessings. Like, you know, you're getting what you want in the long run, but it might be a rough road getting there. I'm kind of feeling that. We'll see. The Hermit, Eight of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Oh, we had a lot with this one. Is everything upside down? Everything but one card is upside down. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. Can you see them all? I don't think you can, so we're going to move them over this way a little bit. So, you got the Lapis Lazuli, and I feel like people talking is not a problem. What people are talking about, that might be the problem. It's not about things being said, it's about what's being said. And trying to discern, you know, what should be said and what shouldn't be said. It's trying to get through, weeding through what people are saying. I feel like there's a lot of communication here. A lot. And I don't feel like communicating is a problem. I feel like, you know, what is being said is a problem. How things are being said might be a problem too. Oh, I didn't flip this. What is this one? This one is tell your story. Tell your story with the Lapis Lazuli. Now, is that for you? I don't know if that's for you or for somebody else. I feel like the communication here is, like when I'm getting Lapis Lazuli, when I'm getting tell your story, I feel like the person you're dealing with is trying to tell their story. The thing is, I feel like you have to desensitize a little bit from this. And you have to like be able to hear it without getting over emotional. And you have to encourage them to keep going with their story, and they might have to tell it more than once. Because I'm getting somebody here needs to tell you what's really happening with them and what problems or what pain they're really going through. This will help you make decisions going forward, because I feel like there's an ongoing battle somebody's dealing with, and that's why they need to tell you this story, so you know exactly what they're handling and why they're acting the way they're acting, and what's about to come down the line is more of the same for them. Something that's hard for them to handle. It's very hard for them to handle. Now, I'm getting the Hermit card here is like, you have no idea about this story. Whatever's going on with this person, you may feel like you know them well, but whatever they're dealing with, they haven't told you about. Either it's a secret, or it's something they don't like people to know about usually. I'm getting you really don't know what's going on here. With the Hermit between you and them, you know something isn't right, but you don't know exactly what's going on. Resilience reversed is telling me like you're kind of getting fed up with this person, and it's going along with the Violet. I'm actually feeling the Violet is kind of like you do care about this person, but you're really having a hard time, especially since it's upside down. You're having a hard time knowing what to do with this. You don't want to give up on this person, I get, but you're like, I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to walk away, but I'm feeling like I might have to. And that's the Eight of Cups reversed. It's kind of like there is a lot I like about this person. I really don't want to walk away, but I'm starting to question if I need to. At this point especially, you need to encourage them to tell you what they're going through. Why is this happening? What are you going through? And I feel like it's more important to realize they want to tell you this story. They do. You simply have to encourage them. They should be willing to give you this information. And I feel like, what do I want to do now? Like, this is the point you're probably hitting this moment. Kind of like, I feel like I might have to walk away, but I don't want to. Encourage them to tell you what's going on. Encourage them to give you that information. This is going to make a big difference here. Now, as we keep going forward, like there's a little break there. It's a thin break is what I'm getting. Which is telling me, like, as things come forward and they're telling you things, it's kind of like what you thought was happening all this time is not what was happening. The Six of Cups reversed is telling me, like, what you thought was actually happening, what you thought was real, was not real. It was not real. And certain things were just played a certain way or looked a certain way. Maybe there's somebody connected to them you thought better of, that they're really not that great. Or it could be even the reverse, like you were blaming somebody and you thought this one person was the problem for this one issue. And then this person is telling you, well, it's not really them. Here's what's actually been happening. Here's actually why they've been doing what they've been doing. They've actually been trying to help me or somebody else, and they're just taking the blunt. They're taking the criticism to keep it away from somebody else. And you're kind of like, well, I actually thought that person was a jerk, but maybe they're not so much a jerk as I thought they were. Whatever's coming out of this, you didn't, like, you're looking at the history of a situation, and you're looking at it like what I thought it was is not at all what it was. It's not at all what it was. And they're bringing it forward with their story, and they're letting you know this is what's really happening, and it's turning things upside down in the sense of, like, what I thought this was built on is not what this is built on. Redefining history, redefining the story. You don't like it? But what I'm getting here is resistance is reversed too. It's like there's a lot of backup. And I feel like you're fact checking with resistance reversed. You're fact checking. You don't like it. It doesn't sound right. You're like, that's not how I thought this was. That's not what I believed this was. The resistance reversed, it really does make me feel like you're fact checking. Kind of like, well, is that really the case? And you're just checking up on some things, and you're not resisting because you're realizing what this person is telling you when they're telling you their story is like, that is the truth. Like, this person, whatever you thought about that person beforehand, you were incorrect. And they're giving you the reasons why that's incorrect, but showing you what's the truth here. And actually you're going and you're verifying, yeah, that is the truth. So the resistance, you're letting go of resistance. You'll notice it's a little farther down because I do feel like you're fact checking. You don't like it, and you're saying, okay, I misjudged this. And the peach reversed is telling me that dark blessing feel again. Like, you're happy to know what's really happening here, but you're not happy with what's actually happening. Even if this person is looking a lot better than they did before to you, that means what you're seeing here, there's bigger problems is what I'm getting. Like, they're helping somebody else, trying to help somebody else through problems. You're finding out there's a bigger problem here than you had thought. Or if it's going the way of, like, somebody you thought of in a good light, turns out they're actually a jerk. You're happy to know the truth, but it's still, you're not happy about the situation. That's the peach reversed. Because you got the truth now, and you're like, well, at least I know what's actually happening. I'm just not happy about what is happening. So I guess the answer to this, for what do I do now, you get this person to tell you their story so you can find out the truth, and then you're going to fact check. Which I feel like this is a natural progression. You're just going to naturally do this. You're just going to fact check. And this is going to put you in a different perspective so you can handle the next situation. Alright. That's what we have for Lapis Lazuli. We have one more left, so let's get into that one. Let's get right into that one. I can't believe how many of these were upside down. Like, I'm having a lot of upside down cards. Usually, and it's funny, if you watch my channel, you'll notice I usually don't do the upside down cards that often, but lately it's just been a thing. So, and if they come up upside down, I just kind of go with it. Get reinforcements. That might show up a little later. So we got the titanium rainbow quartz. Now this, I viewed this as a kind of a healing stone, kind of like a balancing. It's kind of like you go towards the darkness to heal it. It's like you're drawn towards a painful situation in order to heal it. It's kind of how I feel. That's how I use it a lot. It just seems to pull in something, because there's a lot of gold color here, but there's a lot of darkness here too. But it's kind of saying, you know, there's a gift in the darkness. You need to go through it, figure out what's going on so you can actually see the truth of a situation. All right, now you got get reinforcements here. This feels a little interesting. Okay. Another one where everyone but one card is upside down. Okay. Now, these three cards are all connected. I'm noticing it's kind of blurring a little bit here. The first card is Justice, but it's reversed. What I'm feeling here is like, no matter what's happened, you don't feel like it's right, is what I'm getting. Has justice been served? No. But I feel like this is not over, that's the problem. It's like it doesn't feel like this is balanced right. Like things are falling over to the side. Either somebody lied, something wasn't presented like it should have. Manipulative people, something like that. You're looking back like justice, there's an injustice in the past. And the ruby reversed is kind of like, I feel like that's kind of like this is going to come back. This is a problem. This is something that bothers you. And it's bothering you to the point where it's throwing off your emotions. And you're just like, that was an injustice. It's making me feel like I'm in a primal feel moment, like I'm subject to more injustices. This is going to come back and cause more damage. I need help with this. I feel like I'm at my wit's end. Emotionally, I can't do this anymore. I can't handle this anymore. It's just, this is not right. This is not fair. This is not good. Now, they're saying you have to go towards the darkness to heal the situation. Get more reinforcements. You're going to have to, I feel like you're going to have to air out your dirty laundry, basically. You're going to have to find somebody somebody you trust, or somebody who's qualified, one of the two, who can hear you and help you fix the situation from here forward. Because I feel like it's almost like you got the darkness, you have to release the darkness. That's the darkness reversed. I actually like this card reversed. Because in this situation, it feels like you have to air out your dirty laundry. This is going towards the darkness to heal things. You have to get reinforcements. You have to go towards somebody you believe can help you. And it could be a professional person. It could be a psychiatrist. It could be a family friend. Could be a friend of the family. I don't know why I'm saying that both ways, the same way, whatever. But there you go. You have to talk to somebody is what I'm getting. You have to get help. You need people to help you here. You definitely need other people to help you. And then you need to talk that out and release yourself from this darkness. Because I feel like it's come to the end of the rope. You might be holding other people's secrets, and it's really hard for you, and it's really painful for you. You have to let it go. When you reverse this darkness, the Four of Wands comes in. You're going to get a lot stronger. You're going to have an ally. This reinforcement is going to be an ally. They're going to help you work towards solving this. This is not a guaranteed win. I need to make that clear. You're going to have to work with this person and continue to work with this person and possibly bring other people in to improve this situation. This is not a one-shot win. This is not going to be that. Releasing the darkness, explaining to this person how you feel, and then staying on the even keel, this person is going to help you, and they're going to help you move towards resolution or improvement at the very least, but it's going to be a constant effort to keep it going better. But they're saying, like, what do I do now? You got to face the darkness. You got to face it and show somebody your dark, dirty laundry. So then they can help give you ideas about what you can honestly do to correct things without showing your true darkness here, what's really bothering you. No healing can really happen. But you will get an ally from this. They will help you move forward. They will help make it better, but you have to stay engaged. As long as you stay engaged, it will improve one way or another. I think that's kind of it. Alright. Well, thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.